Okay, I'm starting. Hello everyone and welcome to a new vlog. This week we're going to give you a little bit of an update about what's been going on in our lives, so super exciting things that have been happening, and then we're going to take you with us for the rest of the week as we vlog. So lately we've been doing a lot of research on the house buying process and also the adoption process, and we aren't sure which we're going to pursue first. Ideally we'd like to get a house first, but because of the housing market right now and how low our mortgage approval was for, not sure if that's going to be possible, but we'll see.
For the house buying process, we've been trying to do a lot of research and figure out just kind of what it's going to entail and like what everything that we have to do is. We've gotten a lot of feedback from friends and stuff and coworkers who have recently gone through the process, so that was really helpful. But to kind of get it all started, we reached out to our bank actually, and we got a pre-approval from the bank, and they got back to us and they gave us a pre-approval for an FHA loan for $150,000, which in this area is not really that much, and it's really difficult because the approval is based heavily on your debt to income ratio, and for us we have a ton of student loans from going to school, and all of them are federal loans, which is really nice because they're all on income driven repayment, so it's not like it's really that much of a burden for us to slowly be repaying those. But obviously when any bank or anything is looking into giving you approval for a mortgage, that's going to be something that really is going to show up on there. And so because we have so many student loans, it really heavily impacts our debt to income ratio. So basically between the two of us, that cut off like $1,000 of our income every month just to account for our student loans, which makes it really difficult, and which is why our approval amount is so low at $150,000, which seems like a decent amount, and it is, but given, like Sarah said, the housing market and like the area that we're in, like everything is, you could find stuff for under that, but it's in such bad shape that it makes it difficult to even think about getting it, because with an FHA loan, it can be a little bit more strict when it comes to the type of house that you buy. So like Sarah and I are more interested in buying like maybe a little bit more disheveled of a house. It's a little bit cheaper, but we can...
We just want a trash house.
Well, not trash, but like it's got stuff, projects, so you can work on stuff, something we can actually do. Yeah, it would be really nice to learn how to do things and actually be able to do stuff. Where it could be a little more strict on like what kind of stuff there can be in the house. Like sometimes they won't even approve a mortgage if there's like peeling paint in some rooms and stuff.
Which is tricky.
Which can be really difficult. And so yeah, we had to approve for an FHA loan, and of course we could go with a conventional loan, and the difficulty with that is going to be, we asked about that and they said the approval amount would actually decrease quite a significant amount.
So how much did they say?
I think he quoted me, so our FHA approval was $150,000 and the conventional was somewhere between $100,000 and $110,000, which is just like, you can't touch anything for that. Like it's such a low amount of money, and it's
unless
difficult.
You find a really disheveled house.
Yeah, but I think the loan analyst told us that it also just kind of depends on like who's assessing the house too, like when they go and look at it, because sometimes we've been told by realtors and stuff that FHA is a lot more strict, and like if you have peeling paint, they'll be like, no, you can't do it, like it needs to be fixed. But whereas conventional may not be as strict, but the loan officer said that it just kind of depends on the person who's assessing it. So you may not even have that issue regardless of which type of loan you're going with.
Yeah.
But something that is a little bit tricky is the fact that with the FHA loans, which I just figured out recently, you have to pay the PMI, so the insurance for the loan on that loan for the entirety of it, whereas with a conventional loan, you can get the mortgage insurance taken off if you hit 20% equity on the loan to value ratio. So it's just like there's these things that you have to think about. There's so many steps involved and it's so difficult.
Complicated.
Obviously, the best option would be to be able to get a conventional loan and be able to go with a conventional loan, get rid of the PMI once you hit 20% equity. Of course, the best option would be able to just put 20% down so you don't have to pay the PMI at all.
It's a lot of money though.
It is a lot of money. I mean, even on our pre-approval for $150,000, 20% down would be $30,000. That's a lot of money to just have sitting around. So it's really difficult. But we're getting started with the process because we're at that stage and we're getting ready to do it. And like Sarah said, we need to.
The apartment's too small.
The apartment
for all of my kitchen supplies.
Well, that amongst everything else that we collect, from life.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And we're also starting the adoption process, which is complicated in and of itself. We're going through this really great organization which has a large community in Western New York, which is great. So many people have adopted through them here, and we know a lot of these people, which is really nice. And I love the community aspect. It's based, so I think it's here, and is it in Minnesota or Michigan? The other,
I'm not really sure.
They have it like a group of people here, and I don't remember if it's Michigan or Minnesota. And then it's based out of Columbia, and so but everyone knows each other, and it seems like a really great organization. And the issue with that is it can be up to a 2-year process. So we want to get started as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But in order, part of the process is to do something called a home study. And that involves someone coming to your house. I mean, it involves a lot of things, but part of that is having interviews at your house and making sure your house is fit for a child. And I don't know if our apartment right now would work, especially considering we just have our bedroom and then an office, or the other bedroom is an office where we work from home. So I really would like to get a house first, if possible, with a 3rd bedroom, which can be a nursery. But we'll see what happens, but we really would like to officially start the adoption process this fall.
Yeah.
Because it's going to take so long.
Yeah, it is a long process. Well, they also said it could be up to 2 years, but they also said they've seen it done in as quick as 6 months, as long as you are really good at keeping up with your paperwork, as long as you have all the money up front to pay for it. It is a little expensive, but it's just part of the process. As long as you are good at keeping track of things and keeping up with the paperwork and responding quickly when you do get things sent back to you. They said they've seen it done in as quick as 6 months. So I mean, that's probably not the standard. The standard is probably closer to a year or over a year. But they also said you can go as quickly as you want to go as well, which is nice. It gives us the ability to kind of take it step by step and do what we need to do as well. But the difficult part, and the reason why we really want to get a house, is because you can't move during the process. Because if you do a home study, they come and investigate your home. If you then move, you have to do another home study,
which means you have to pay for that again.
Yeah, you got to pay for it again, and you got to hope that your new place is gonna qualify.
Yeah.
So it's really difficult. They say just don't move.
Yeah.
Just wait until the whole process is over and then move.
Yeah, it's a really complicated process. Tons of paperwork, background checks. I mean, it's important. All that stuff's really important, but it's going to be a lot of paperwork. We have to remember everywhere we've lived since we've been 18, which has been a lot of places.
Yeah, we went to an event the other day, and we met a few people that are currently in the process, or who recently finished the process, and they said, one of the hardest things they've done so far was having to tell them every place they've lived since they turned 18.
Yeah.
And I mean, some of these people that we talked to, they were in their 50s. So I'm for them, it's got to be really difficult. For us, I can just imagine, we've had a few different apartments and we've been in a couple different countries, and I'm just I don't remember everywhere we've been. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really tricky. Yeah. But as long as, they said, as long as you have everything down and you have access to everything and you're good at keeping track and keeping on time, then it's not an issue. You can definitely do it and get it done.
Yeah. So we're really excited about that, and I can't wait to start.
It would be really great to get the house first if we could, though. So we've been looking in our area, and
there's not a lot of houses even for sale.
a lot of the houses that are for sale tend to be right around like twice what our approval was for. So
or
it's a
they're
little
really,
difficult.
really cheap and something's severely wrong with them.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
they're not even, and it's okay, I don't know, it's very confusing because like we'll look on like Zillow or Realtor.com, which I shouldn't be looking on because they put houses on there that aren't even for sale anymore, and or they're for sale but there's like stipulations like cash only
Yeah.
for like $200,000 houses because the foundation's messed up.
Yeah,
And
it's really tough. There's
it's
just like all these things during the whole home buying process.
Yeah.
Like we've heard a lot of horror stories from friends
Yeah.
and family who, you know, it took a long time to get the process done. And it's like, oh, it shouldn't be like that. But now we're realizing exactly why it does take so long and there's so much involved because it's very complicated. Doesn't seem like it should be, but it ends up boiling down to being something very complicated. But it's exciting, and you know we're ready to take that step. We just need to find something and make it work, I suppose.
it will happen soon.
Oh yeah, I mean yeah, definitely gonna happen soon. It's just waiting for the perfect house to come on the market.
Perfect house.
Yeah.
All right, we have a busy rest of the week left and a really busy weekend ahead of us. Tomorrow we're going into the office.
Gosh, you're right.
We have a really busy weekend. Tomorrow we're going into the office. We've been working from home for the past 2 years, but we're going into the office in preparation to return to work next month and so we need to go in, make sure our computer works and like change our desks around. So we're gonna take you with us when we go into the bank tomorrow. Yep.
Or visiting a friend at the same time.
Yes, she's our coworker, so we're gonna. She's coming in the same time as us. We're gonna get our stuff done and then go for coffee, which will be nice.
Yeah, some good coffee at our favorite coffee shop, which we spent way too much money at before the pandemic hit. We were there like multiple times a week, and they're very expensive. So, but it's worth it. It's
at
good
least
coffee.
We're supporting a small business.
Oh yeah,
business,
and they had good coffee, so for sure.
Yeah. When we go to Columbia, we can go to the what is it called? The coffee farm. Coffee farm?
The plantation.
Plantations? Coffee plantation? Wow, I should
I'm not
know
sure.
what this is. When we go to Columbia, we can go to the coffee plantations and
we can
it'd
see
be
the
really
whole
cool
process.
to
That'd
see
be cool.
the whole process. Yeah, and how I don't know, just how it works because I've never seen that before. I remember when we were in England, we did a Colombian coffee tasting.
We did a tasting, which was funny because if you've ever done a coffee tasting, you don't put milk and sugar or cream and sugar or whatever in the coffee. You're tasting the coffee to taste what it is like without anything in it. And it was funny because Sarah, I don't think, realized this, and when we got there, she asked to have some cream with hers.
I don't drink black coffee. I drink mine with cream. So yeah, it was
and that
hard.
stuff was really strong. Like it was
really
like
good
really
coffee.
good quality stuff, but it was super strong. So
I look forward to going and doing a coffee tasting there.
yeah, that would be nice. I'm sure we'll be doing that and much other things. In another video, I'm sure we'll tell you all about the whole adoption process. But when it does happen, we're gonna have to spend a decent amount of time in Colombia. So
yeah, probably a month or a little more in Colombia.
yeah, so we'll get into more details once that becomes actually something that we're doing.
So
But
exciting.
yeah, I'm sure we'll be doing lots of other stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've been blabbing enough about this, so we're gonna continue with our evening.
I don't blab. I ramble eloquently.
Look, Andrew's eloquent rambling has come to an end, and we will continue vlogging tomorrow when we go out for coffee. What is happening?
I thought you were saying I'm gonna die.
No. What?
Well, you said my rambling has come to an end. It just sounds like a very sinister thing to say.
Oh, sorry. Well, anyways, we will see you guys tomorrow when we go to work.
Yeah.
Catch you then.